ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 4 of the 2025 Horseboarding National Championship.
We are here at the Sandringham Festival of Carriage Driving. But before we start with the horseboarding, let's take a look at the event. Be like your horses at home. The louder you scream, the faster they go.
With a time of 46.56. What a run, Dan. What a run from that team. With one touch to add, making it a 47.56. They will be happy with that, but they know they can clean it up. They know they can get smoother. We've seen it from them before.
I mean, that to me looked like a knockout blow, if I'm honest. That was a big haymaker landed squarely on the chin of every other team out there.
But we still have teams to go. We still have teams that are building, and we also have some new teams, but we also have a new team with some old categories in it, which I've already heard want to fight for it. And this is another team in the advance. Goose the Stallion, happy little accidents in the green. You can hear Tom calling on for the horse, wanting the speed at 17 miles an hour.
Goose really enjoys this sport, but is insistent that he does it at his speed, and no amount of encouragement is going to change that. So he enjoys it, but that's it. That's his gear.
A split time, 21 seconds on the split. Surely taking a big inside line. Can he hold it? Yes, he can. You can see George just trying to get this pony going. Where's this stallion going to go? Is he going to keep going? Can she kick on and get the speed? We know he's got the speed, but he's just being a bit lazy these days. Can he keep going?
I mean, look, making a good effort though at the same time.
Head forward.
Making their way into, you see, ears forward as well. It's 15 miles an hour as the crowd starts to cheer and push this team on and the horse on for the finish line.
And it will be a good time from this team with a time of 57.58.
So lead is around 10 seconds behind Send It Siblings. 10.02 seconds behind Send It Siblings.
That's
and
a big gap.
Striker Pose. Of course, we haven't seen the speed of Striker Pose yet, but they're 23 seconds to the worse off in third place.
But coming in now in the blue, we have Ice Baby, an intermediate team. So they won't be doing the chicane and they won't be doing the weave, so it's the shorter figure of 8.
I mean, there's a curious combination change here, and maybe a question needs to be raised about what this category of team actually is.
Categories, 20 miles an hour to that top corner from an intermediate team.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, when you've got a horse that used to race in the elite and a board rider that is currently racing in the elite,
that kind of 3 miles an hour as well.
Kind of changes your positioning
on the split.
And, I think there'll definitely be some questions over that between the heats. So making their way around now into the red back boots and cutting across towards the Bruco marketing corner. Really nice fluid movement there from the horse Tara, who has struggled in previous years. 16 miles an hour, throttling up as they make their way towards the finish line.
There's a throttle. Tom's having to work here.
Line.
47.36. Considering it's an intermediate team, Dan, to see an elite boarder struggling on towards the finish line through that rough stuff, that's an interesting call from that team. I can understand why you would want to do it, but for the other teams, I feel like it might be a little bit unfair. But coming in now, we have an advanced team, got pushed straight into the advance of their first competition, showing from the intermediate class that they were well above that. So this lovely polo pony, a well-regarded polo pony, a pretty cold start. Good start on the finish. You can see a nice stretch from this horse towards the speed trap. 20 miles an hour seems to be the average now. Advanced team going at 20 miles an hour in their first run, working really well. And as they come out the top end, you see they're slowing up a little bit, making sure the line's good for Ash, making sure they're all together as they come for this 90-degree split time at 21 on the split. So just the same as we saw from Happy Little Accidents. Seems to be a bit of an average time at 21 on the split, working well into the chicane. Ash standing up nice well here rather than dropping into that board, working well with the rake, tucking that truck around that corner. You can see working really nicely as a team. This is what you need. That working together is what's going to get them round.
And the thing is, you know this team have got all the potential in the world. 15 miles an hour as they make this turn now towards the finish line, and we start to see more of what that pony is capable of. Is she going to stay on her feet? She does it. Oh, that was close.
With a time of 54.70. What a run for their first run. And they're only going to build from that, Dan. You can see there's lots of areas where they dropped a bit of pace to make sure Ash was okay, and Ash looked real comfortable there.
Yeah, solid second place position, 7.14 seconds behind Send It Siblings, which is a distance, but you see those, the combination, the gel coming together to hold your horses. They will be an elite team.
They only started with us this year, so they are building down. They're really learning on every time they go out. They are learning more and more about their team as a connection. So coming in here, we have Pandemonium, an intermediate team. It's their first weekend racing with us. So if you're interested in horseboarding, ladies and gentlemen, this is a perfect example. This is a team that's come and done an assessment with us to make sure they can do the course in front of you guys here, make sure the horse is happy, and then you come in and start competing with us in the intermediates, and then you work your way up. So if this looks like something you'd be interested in, ladies and gentlemen, get in touch with us at Horseboarding UK. We'd love to speak to you. If you've got a horse and you're interested, or you're into boards and you haven't got a horse and you need somebody to help you out, get in touch. So perfect example of that sort of thing, just learning how this whole game works, but doing really nice smooth movements, keeping the tension on the line with the board up. So lovely to see from a first run from this team.
Yeah, and again, first for this pony who's staying focused, horse rider doing a good job. Best thing you can do in this situation is just keep the horse focused on what you're doing in the saddle, and then the distractions that we might purposely place around the arena, the music and the atmosphere, can be less of an issue, as we see here for the finish line. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the team of Pandemonium.
With a time of 67.83, a good run for their first ever run. That is a really good, steady, stable start. And actually, that pony looks so happy to be out there. Head forwards, down, ears forwards, no bouncing up, no changes. Quite happy to be here. So lovely to see that from their first run.
And that's exactly what you need to do going forward with the horses first starting their career.
Yeah.
They need to just do the steady runs. They need to be able to understand that it's not all about going flat out. You need to be able to push the button, go and turn it into a fighter jet, and then turn it off and stand in the pits, just like all the other horses are, relaxed, knowing that their next race is
going around now at 22 miles an hour. Just Drag in the green, an elite team. We haven't seen them racing that much this year, but they came to last competition and put some real big races down. This elite team, so we'll see them do the weave.
I mean, this team has something to prove, really. They've been languishing around at the back of the pack for a while, really, since they came up into the elite, and so they've been the pressure is kind of on them to perform, and we're seeing that they are putting more better performance down.
Exactly, you can see a bit of speed came off there, but it was a clean weave, and that's all you're asking for at the moment, making sure you get through that technical section of the course and you can build from there. Just if you get a touch, it's 1 second, and that makes a huge difference in this form down. So getting that clean is a massive thing for them. Coming across the split time, 48 on the split. We don't know with the elite where that is. We didn't have that on the other elite run, so we'll find out as that comes up.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, the spread of teams is quite large. You've got quite big gaps between them, but as it tightens up, those seconds, points of seconds, makes a massive difference. And we'll see that once we get into the second rotation. This is only the first rotation, and the steadiest runs that the teams are likely to do this whole weekend. So, but so far so good with Just Drag. Pretty quick, pretty accurate. That's what we want to see through the finish line with a time of 84.68. A round of applause for Just Drag.
A clear run as well. That's going to be good for them. Having a clear run on your first run makes a huge difference. You know from then on you can just build. You can be a little bit more adventurous with your runs. But coming in now, we have a new team. We have more intense Apple the horse. We have Sue Scott on the horse as well. But a new one back. I say new. A new old boarder for us. Reese Wagner back on the board. We haven't seen him for about 6 years. He is top-end racing elite. But he's back and he's ready for a good race. He's already said he wants to challenge Send It Siblings. So we'll see how it goes with Apple.
But this is Apple's very first competition. She did a race assessment yesterday. It's her first competition, so they're not going to be pushing hard, 17 miles an hour. And just to confirm, it is poor intent, not poor intent.
Wow. I mean, that was almost a dad joke there, Dan.
Well, I thought that's what you said.
I did not. I said poor. I read it off a piece of paper. I have a piece of paper just next to me. Coming in on a split time, 26 on the split there. Good for them on their first run.
Did you read it off your fact sheet?
I played it on Layla's fact sheet.
Okay, so as we now make our way, this is Sue Scott once again in the saddle. Horse looked a little bit unsure what side to go back down there, but followed the direction of the rider. And you can see the board rider not being tested until we've seen this guy sliding around, lay down on the floor.
First to do 9 miles an hour on a course before we've done it. He's a very well-known and well-regarded boarder. So you can see he's so chilled at the moment, even though he's had 6 years layoff.
But he goes for the finish line with a time of 65 dead.
Wow, 65 dead. We don't commonly have exact numbers.
That will put them into 3rd place. And interestingly enough, Reese went to Sue Scott's yard to do a bit of practice to get knock the dust off himself, and he spotted this pony in the field and said, could we use that one? And Sue's like, well, we can try.
Let's try that one.
And so he likes it, thinks it's going to go fast when it develops. Now we have the top and tails, ladies and gentlemen, built from members of teams. These guys raced in Denmark, and the horse rider is the Horseboarding International Champion with her other team.
This is a race.
And she is away into the speed trap, 26 miles an hour.
Matching what we saw from Just Wing It. They are up for a fight. All of these teams on their first run.
And this is the fight. Just Wing It and Top and Tails. Team Rush against Team Richards. These guys have been scrapping it out. Last year, Richards came out on top.
This is the difference. Are they going to keep the speed of the week? Can Josh get through this? Something that's done big slack. Held it well. Not a big of a pull. Now they can push on down. We know Josh could do the rest of this course.
Scrabbled for that rope as he came out.
Catching a bit of an edge on that top side. I heard from the boarders they're worried about this top corner with it cutting up, but we know Josh can do the rest of this course at speed. Now they've just got to get round. Can he get round with Lindy? Amy working really well, checking back on him on that corner.
Yeah, 41 seconds on the split. You see the board rider using his fingers for grip there as he gets down and fires the centrifuge.
Oh, there was a kick out there, Dan. He's so wide.
And now cutting across for the Bruco marketing corner into the speed trap at 16 miles an hour. Surprised he's not faster for the finish line. Ladies and gentlemen, call this little pony home. She's only 14.2, but don't tell her she's got the heart of a lion through the finish line.
With a time of 68.80. That puts them into first place there.
And the fight has begun,
and
ladies and
bonus
gentlemen.
point.
So the bonus point of the first round, I'm not going to get too much into that. For simple terms, Top and Tails have a time of 68.8. Just Wing It have a time of 69.53. That's a time difference of 0.73 of a second. That means now we have another team walking into the field who, a year ago at the Game and Country Fair here, put down one of the best runs of the season.
The only advanced team to ever do 30 mile an hour on the track.
It is section 89. Georgina Scott on the horse, Judge Child rather, and Orange Child on the board. The horse is Adelita, winning X-Race horse 21 into the first turn. Now, they had an amazing finish to last season. The beginning of this season has been somewhat marred with different issues. Same as the ball. Wind's taking balls down all over the place, ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention.
But as we come into the week, they worked on this really hard. There's balls down everywhere, but all that matters is the ones they're going past. Can they get through this week? George working hard, one touch on the middle, but Orange sticking with it, worked really hard to cut back on that hillside. Can he hold it? Still wobbling! Oh, he's through that corner.
You can see they're looking for the ground, they're looking for the throttle, they're testing it to see where they need to be. The ground crew doing a good job of staying out of the way as they go for this split time.
46 on the split. Good, just lost a boot there. Everything's going in carnage, but they're still going through, holding this game well. Orange ducking in nicely. Can he hold this line on this exit? Looks like it's wide. One touch.
That looked like another touch.
That's 2 touches so far, but they are just worried this is their first run. They want to run on the board, put it on the board, and then they can get better from there.
Yeah, looking now for the speed trap again, 15, 16 miles an hour. But look how effortlessly that horse is doing 16 miles an hour. When this horse goes into a gallop, it's got 4 more gears, ladies and gentlemen, after gallop. A round of applause for a relatively steady run there from section 89.
With a time of 78.36. 2 touches to add, that will make it 80.36.
10.83 seconds of second place, 11.56 seconds of first. But all day long, that horse has got a lot more in the tank.
So much before. We didn't see her at the last competition. She had some slight foot issues. They've worked on that. They've got pads in. They've made some changes. So they're just feeling the ground with this horse, making sure she's happy. But coming in now, the team that's just been knocked off top position by the team we saw before. Are they going to fight for it? There's going to be a big fight here. Oh, they're pulling the run. That's an interesting development there on their second run, dummy running here, putting their hand up. So the way this works, ladies and gentlemen, if you cross the start line, it still counts as you doing a run, but it means you don't lose your third run. If you pull out from that second one and don't enter the arena and don't cross that start line, you lose your third run. So an interesting development for a team that's just been beaten on their run and lost the bonus point, and now
it's the tactics. It's the tactics. So the tactic is what they're going to do now is they're going to say, okay, we're not going to put a time down and show us all of our cards. We're going to keep those back. We're going to see what, and we're going to force the other teams to put their cards down on the table first, but put that time down so they can challenge it.
But with TNT being a small pony, they're going to put their cards down first and second.
You would think, yeah.
So why lose your
section 89? Well, there you go. You've got to watch section. And if they don't, if section 89 don't pull it together, they've only got Ducks and Tails to beat.
That's very true.
So they, in which case, and if they get into a fight over the course of the whole weekend, you're talking now 4 heats.
Yeah,
so if you can save one fast run out of your first heat, that can pay you dividends at the end of the competition.
But saying that, coming in now, we have Cobra Not Forgotten actually looking a lot more proactive on the start of this run. 19 miles an hour into that top corner. So really nice to see from them pushing on a little bit with their new pony. Seems quite happy to me. 22 seconds on the split. That is up from their split earlier. Really working well. Taking this long bottom corner. Are they going to keep that pace? It looks like they've dropped a little bit from the one corner. Maybe there's something they saw with the pony before. Keeping it together. Keep that constant pace going. Oh, a little bit of a sideways action. Make sure the sat nav's pointing in the right direction as they come across this top corner. Into the pace up again. 14 miles an hour. That's good from this team as an intermediate team.
This is great from this team. Look, the horse being allowed to stretch out, push more.
Opening out here for the finish.
And the board rider has been doing lots of work wakeboarding, developing his board riding skills, so it's paying off with the time off.
55.96 with no touches to add. That is a clear round. That is a good run for that team. We still have increments in this box, so I don't actually know where that sits them at the moment, but I know it was fast as their first. So coming in now, we have third hit. Team that we've seen built up of a few different parts there.
Yeah, so we've got, this is the team's like third or fourth competition. And again, the referees will be watching very closely for any sort of orange card escalation. I think
I would advise Tom holds that rope a little bit higher off the top of the back of that pony's tail, just so there's a little bit of flapping going around with that tail. There we go. Just to make sure there's no tails near the rope.
Yeah, so making their way now up to the split time, 28 seconds on the split, and generally smooth, generally nice. That's what we want. And it's no challenge for Tom at all on the board.
Tom is a world-renowned mountain boarder. I've raced with him since I was about 11, and I've seen him do some of the craziest races down downhill tracks and big jumps, so this to him is just a walk in the park.
Yeah, exactly. A mosey around the Sandringham estate, we might call it, as they make their way into 16 miles an hour, which seems to be the standard speed for that corner.
Average for this corner at the moment. Yeah, whatever team's going around it seems to be calling a 16.
Yeah, through JCB turn and towards the finish line with a time of
67.56 and a clear round. So good to see from that team. Just trying to see, that is a big improvement for them. It's about improvement of about 5 seconds, Dan. So doing really well, just upping 5 seconds off their last run. It's nice to see just that slow build. And we'll see.
Well, that's it. When you're at that level, you're not, again, don't race everybody else when you're at that level. Just work on your own time. Develop find out where you can go faster, where you can go smoother, and then eventually you find yourself in at half a second from the leader, and that's when you want to take the gloves off.
Yeah, definitely. And again,
start fighting.
19 miles an hour from Need for Speed, and pushing on this top corner. Amazing to see this team really moving forward. I believe they're possibly first or second. It's hard to tell from what we've got here. And it's split time. 19 seconds on the split, up on the split from what we've just seen. Amazing from this team. This little pony showing all the heart.
Yeah, so these are in second place by around about 2 seconds.
Joe getting whipped out, working. Joe's actually working.
Yeah, and you've got to ask whether or not this team, how many runs have they got? But this pony's still full of gas right now for the finish line. And a round of applause for the team of Need for Speed.
With a time of 48.40, with an improvement of about a second. Still in second place, but with a second improvement on their time. If they can push a little bit more speed across this diagonal down, I think they can really push for a fight here.
Yeah, great work there. So next on the list,
we have Striker Pose.
So Striker came out a little bit excited from his last run, but that's the first time he's shown that. I think this is his third or fourth competition.
Yeah.
And he's been working his way up to it. He's had, once they feel that bit of freedom, once they feel that bit of, okay, we're going to give you the reins and we're going to start racing, the ponies know, and it sometimes can be difficult bringing them back. So
but here we go. This is a lot more calm from this pony. Nice to see that she's obviously decided she's going to bring this pony down, make sure he's listening, and understand that we are in control of the speed. We're happy for you to have a good race, but when we ask for it, not when you decide it's going to happen.
You've got to. This is exactly what you need to do. The top teams have to use runs like this just to bring them down and just make sure that all three brains are working as one. And because the horses learn, they can get around the course real quick.
I think somebody needs to have a little chat about that line there. She's going through the finish gate when she doesn't need to, so extending the time for her with a 37 on the split. Obviously, this is what we call a schooling run. When these ponies do get a little bit excited and a little bit het up, it's time to bring the speed down, calm them down on the course, and make sure it's not about that crazy run. So the horse is happy and the team's happy together. So nice to see them doing that sort of thing. Just maybe work out the sat-nav as well, might help out. But coming across this diagonal, you can see Tom Dent on the board looking a little bit bored there. Usually we see him having to work quite hard, but he seems quite happy to have a bit of a chilled run across here. 13 miles an hour into this top corner, so 6 miles off the average that we've been seeing so far.
And solid, steady. This is exactly what you need to do. Making their way now through Free Speech Union corner, past the JCB, and for the finish line.
With a time of 89.80. So their slowest run so far, but as I say, it's a schooling run. It's about making sure the horse is happy.
Yeah, and well worth a round of applause there, because that's what this is about, the longevity of the horse going forward. And you can. If you get the ponies too excited, they eventually won't do it. It's as simple as that.
It's happened.
Because you can't get the horse, eventually, you can't get the horse anywhere near the board because it's dancing around like it's got 10 legs. So this bringing the horse back down.
It's going to be a race, making sure they're dominant on this course, and it looks like it is flying for that start line.
They are away.
The only border at the moment running 24 miles an hour.
Oh, it was a speed trap run, ladies and gentlemen. So they've a round of applause for Send It siblings there, the 2024 Advanced Champions. They just wanted to see what speed they could get against the speed trap, and then they're going to rest off, save the beans in the horse for the weekend, and see if anybody starts challenging them. The most dangerous competitors for them at the moment are Hold Your Horses, but Hold Your Horses still putting their bits together to really get the most out of their team. Doing a fantastic job, but you can see the great elements of that team, which will become an elite, chasing Send It siblings. Send It siblings have already commented this season. It's only a matter of time before Hold Your Horses take our position at first.
Here we go, away with Happy Little Accident. Everybody calling the horse for more speed at 18 miles an hour. But as you can see, George trying so hard to get Goose going. We have seen this horse go at quite a pace. He's just decided, do you know what? I'm quite happy at this.
I don't need to use any more than third for this.
Coming into the split time, 23 on the split. So again, they're still going at a good speed, but we just know this pony's got more to give. He's just quite happy to meander around at the moment.
Yeah, so also just to note that we are live streaming this, ladies and gentlemen, on YouTube and on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook. So Horseboarding UK on YouTube for all sorts of videos. Not only our live streamed events, but also there's documentaries on there, type of documentaries, covering our European trips and what it's like backstage, touring Europe with Horseboarding UK and International. Through the finish line, or with a time of
62.08. And that is not their fastest time. Their fastest time was a 57.58, so quite a drop off there, Dan. We've had one, well, the DNF's of dummy runs, but there's been no failures, there's been no falls.
Okay, so
just to jinx it there. As Tom
that's why I asked if it was
Tom
two DNFs
with an interesting combination.
Yeah, I think this is going to be revised 100%, and strong discussion over.
Yeah.
So we'll see what course they are going for.
So they're slowing down a bit here. But yeah, you can see they've just knocked the top of the speed, 18 miles an hour, just making sure Tara isn't getting too excited with opening out and stretching out like she used to.
George Evans is the normal board rider who is very poorly today and wasn't able to board, but is still in here trying to work the tech. So we appreciate that.
21 seconds on the split there, Dan. A good split from them, but you can see Tom just chilled at these sorts of speeds. I think George may have had slight issues at this pace, especially with this pace we had on the first run.
There's George checking up there just to make sure, see how fast they are going. For the speed trap now at
18 miles an hour on that top corner, faster. We've seen a lot of the elite teams.
Smooth. Again, you can see this is the kind of horse that you need to really hit those top speeds, the ones that just aquaplane across the arena, float. With a round of applause for Ice Baby.
With a time of 52.08. Not their fastest by quite a long run. Their first run was a 47, so you can see they've knocked the top right off of their pace.
So what's going on now? Okay then, so it is hold your horses. Tasman on the horse. Horse is an ex-polo pony, Gold Cup. And you can see the quality of this pony, and Ash asking for the pace. We're seeing the throttle opening up now, 22 miles an hour as they work around the top end of the course there. And this is where things start getting a little bit sketchy. You see the horse rider coming back off the pace. Good bit of work. You can see the conversations that they've had, where they can want to build up and where they want to look after the board rider into the chicane. Now looking for red back boots and still looking pretty solid. I know Ash was working very hard on being able to stay up. Going into this turn 13 miles an hour, fingers for grip and throttling up. This is going to be very close to Send It Siblings. Just need to keep in that position. Let's have a round of applause for the team of Hold Your Horses, 50.93 seconds. And to put that against Send It Siblings time of 47.56 is the one that I've got, which is so they're closing in. They are less than 3 seconds behind the 2024 Advanced National Champions. And Send It Siblings are feeling the breath of Hold Your Horses on the back of their neck as they enter this third rotation. Here we go. This is the team of Pandemonium making their way in. It's Thomas Gent on the board, who goes around 18 miles an hour, giving talks on regeneratable farming, sustainable farming, and all those things. And of course, we should all be supporting our farmers as they make their way now towards the 90-degree split time. 22.3 seconds on the split. As they just on the cusp there, the 23rd second, as they do this basic figure of 8, bringing the horse around through redback boots once again.
Working well there, Tom getting a bit of a pull, 12 miles an hour into that top corner. You can see an interesting line across that diagonal, but this team is a novice, an intermediate team, really pushing on for the finish here. 52, 53, 54, 55.18 from their first competition. What a run from that team. An improvement, a massive improvement.
Yeah, that puts them into third place. 12 seconds improvement off their first run.
That's amazing.
Only 6.78 seconds behind Need for Speed. And Need for Speed, by the way, are 1.04 seconds behind Ice Ice Baby. Very interesting. I think Need for Speed might be having an overnight move up the table as well.
Yeah, there's definitely things happening all over the place at the moment. We are seeing new teams at their first competition just
mixing it up.
Really mixing up. And you can see the potential of that team from a long way off.
Yeah, Cone but not forgotten. Currently in fourth. They were Cone but not forgotten. 0.78 of a second behind Pandemonium.
Well, here we go. Just drag flying out at 25 miles an hour, really wanting to race. Look at Sean Holder working well with the rope on the inside of that corner, maybe trying to miss the rough stuff. Back end, you can see squirreling around on that truck.
Yeah, a lot of work there, trying to get the horse into this sharp right-hand turn as they make their way towards the three-coned weave. Horse one side, board right the other side, got to get it clean. And they have great deceleration.
That's probably one of the best weaves we've seen from this team.
Yeah, a really good work in how they shorten the stride there, can maintain the short stride through the weave. It isn't the most effective way to get through it, but it is clean at least. Through the split time at
43 on the split. They were about 48 on their run before. Now this is a lot quicker.
I think they're only 2 seconds behind the split for the top teams at the moment.
Yeah, really pushing on. Sean really ducking in. Can he hold it together? You can see the rope really trying to tug his shoulder out of socket there.
Yeah, making the way. This, again, an ex-racehorse really appreciating being allowed to stretch out 13, 14 miles an hour for the finish line. Ladies and gentlemen, just drag as they pass JCB and looking for your support. Again, the horse rider looking after the board rider in that final turn with a time of 75.41, and that puts them into third place. They are, in fact, in a battle with Section 89, but also Section 89 have not pulled out the big guns just yet. So, Just Drag going to third place, 5.88 seconds behind Just Wing It, who are 0.73 seconds behind Top and Tails. Nothing split in the top, and we've not seen Section 89's full cards yet. So, now we go back with the team of Core Intent.
Well, but coming in now, we have Core Intent, and you can see Apple pushing on a little bit more. Sue letting Apple out a little bit more, seeing a bit more. 18 miles an hour from this pony. Much better to see from them.
Yeah, and not pushing the pony at all, just allowing the horse to run on as they see fit. And often the teams will describe, they've got the right line now. Teams will describe and ask the pony what do you want to do in some particular situations. If the horses are up for a race, they'll let them race, and if they're not, they'll just take whatever they want to do.
23 seconds on the split down. That is good from this team. There is a pole down on the inside of that corner. That wasn't them. They've had to avoid it, which takes a different line for them coming through there.
Managed it very well, though. So Core Intent currently 65 seconds on the clock with... they're in fifth place, with a time of 65 seconds, 12 miles an hour, 49 on the clock so far. This is going to be an improvement. How far up the table are they going to move? That's the question. Let's have a round of applause for the team of Core Intent with a 57.01, which brings them into fourth place, pushing Cone but Not Forgotten down. Just double check my... Am I right in that? No. They stay in fifth place. Core Intent stay in fifth place now, only 1.05 seconds behind Cone but Not Forgotten. So you can see the little battles that are wearing up now. Top and Tails, interesting. They've got the lead. This is their second rotation run. They've only got less than a second advance.
You can see from this start, it's not the same that we saw in that first start, that flying
and
start.
They are withdrawing from this race.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is where the tactics, you can see basically, ladies and gentlemen, it's a bit of a game of tennis. They're knocking the ball back to each other going, so you have a go. So basically what we saw is Just Wing It came out in the first rotation, put down a really good time. Top and Tails came out in the first rotation and beat that time by less than a second. Just Wing It retired from their run in an attempt to see if Top and Tails would try and push their extra run and put all their cards on the table, but instead Top and Tails has gone, no, we're going to wait until the final run, because Top and Tails knows Just Wing It have to race before Top and Tails is back in the field, and they may not have to take that final run. However, Section 89 are now entering the arena, and
look at that fight. You can see pushing on. This is what we've seen from this pony before. Flying across the start. What's the speed? 25 miles an hour, matching what we've seen from these other teams, Dan. Now they're up for a race. This is what we can see. Can Orin hold it together on this slippy ground, sliding all over the place? Can they keep the team in one coherent pace?
Lovely bit of work there, just slowing, gradual deceleration. And this horse has what we refer to as active deceleration, ladies and gentlemen. It can go from flat out to
good speed for the weave. Can Orin hold it?
Turn, a good little weave there, and then accelerate away like it's a motorbike on NOS.
This is slightly slow. We've seen they just pulled up a little bit for that top corner. Can they keep the pace on now? They're going to have to push on if they want to be fighting for this top position. Coming into this sharp 90 degree. 43 on the split. That is a good split. Orin gets back in, carving back in. George works well.
A little bit, lot of slack.
Oh, slack. Oh, no, what a shame.
Release.
Well, that could have gone a lot worse for that border. There was I saw for a moment Orin in the air, off the ground, with his board, going backwards, and he still somehow managed to stay up. So a round of applause for not total carnage there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, once you get that slack, and I think what happened there, the pony is very sharp, and it only takes the slightest. She's almost trying to guess what the rider wants before the rider wants it, and I think the horse tried to duck in on the wrong side of that first weave cone. Not out of anything malicious, just got confused. That caused, when the horse recorrected, I mean, look how well she recorrected.
Got through the gate somehow.
Yeah, but that, of course, meant now the board rider was in the wrong place, loads of slack in the rope.
So much slack.
And then that is very dangerous. Tom's putting his finger in the air. That means number one, ladies and gentlemen, we're about to see a race. They're looking for 0.73 of a second.
Here we go on this tight square course.
One for Harry, thundering down there.
30 miles an hour!
Absolutely.
Stay with your reins. Don't raise that hand. Keep racing.
You've not got time to celebrate. You're still racing. Okay, then. So, 30 miles an hour. Fastest we've seen so far this weekend into that first turn. Board rider working very hard. And you can see that's stamping a massive challenge. The question is, one touch to add. Can they maintain the accuracy at that speed? This is the question that we've all got to ask. As they now make their way towards the 90-degree split time, 34 on the clock so far. What are we going to get?
Split time, 38 on the split. They are up on the split. If they can hold this together and don't get any more touches, they will put themselves into first position at this pace.
Currently, they've got a 1 second advantage, given that they've already got a 1 second penalty against their name. As they make their way across the diagonal, see the arena being torn apart by this horse as they go into the speed trap. 17, 18 miles an hour.
Touch on the back of the wheel from John's board.
And that's the same one. It's a 2 second penalty. This is going to be super tight through the finish line with a time of 65.10. What a run, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if it means they're in first, but we will soon find out.
That puts them into first place, Dan. With that run, with the 2 touches, they are in first place.
Okay, so wind just playing. Okay, 2 touches on that last run, which means
they are in first place by absolutely nothing.
Okay, so we've got it here. They are in first place by 1.7 seconds. That's the difference that's made. That's the challenge for the rest of the table, is to find 1.7 seconds to take the wings away. Release.
What a shame there.
Release.
Yeah. You could see as he came around that corner, I was about to say, He got real toe heavy, really toe heavy, nearly touching his head to the ground. Managed to get back up, but put so much effort to get back up, he went all the way over to the other side.
Yeah, he just overcompensated. I don't think I've seen him in that position before, so low to the ground. So when he came up too strong, and the centrifugal force pushed him to the outside, causing that. Doesn't look like he's come off too bad though. You all right there, Ed?
He's running, he's fine.
He's enjoying it. I think he enjoyed that.
Yeah, that's one for the crash reel, for sure.
Yes, there is an award every year, ladies and gentlemen, for the best crash of the season. And,
made by myself?
Yeah, by Aidan Beamish Blacksmithing. And so it's a fantastic trophy. Most coveted, actually, out of the whole championship.
Yeah. For the borders, anyway. Keep that rope up, Jolly. Keep that rope up, mate. That swishy tail. Get that rope in the air.
Okay, so I think that's definitely an orange card. So just officials just confirming that's an orange card, which means basically it means there has been an escalation of behaviour which isn't in the norm. It doesn't mean anything in terms of whether or not the horse will lose get any penalties or anything for it, or have to stop racing. It just means that the officials are aware of it and are paying attention to it. If there is a further escalation, then that's when a second orange card. So they can keep doing the same thing. That won't incur more orange cards. But if, for example, the books were to get more aggressive or more looking out of control, then another orange card would be issued. And if there was other issues, there's many different things around the arena that they can do to earn more orange cards, then their day would be, or their heat would be finished. But they've made it round. A round of applause for the team of Earned It with a time of
61.10. And ladies and gentlemen, also, we are all over social media, on all major social media platforms. If you have taken any photos or videos from around the arena, we love to see them. Please do tag us if you post them at Horseboarding UK. If we really like them, they'll get shared by ourselves and even the teams on their pages in front of thousands of people. So if you have taken any photos or videos from around there, please tag us when you post them at Horseboarding UK.
So here we go now as the team of Need for Speed taking a gentle approach to the final rotation and just giving their pony a run. And
which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. The pony's just given two amazing
not put a foot wrong.
No, and at this stage, I mean, they could withdraw it. Or, you know, they might. We can't see all of the conversation that's going on between the horse and rider.
No.
So if the horse maybe thinks, well, or the rider rather, maybe thinks, okay, look, I want to take a steady run, just as a thank you maybe, or let's just focus on a particular area of the track.
A warm down for the pony.
And it's a good time if you're thinking about this is interesting to you, ladies and gentlemen. We have come to our website, horseboardinguk.org. Also, all our social medias, as Aidan was just mentioning. And contact us, for we are currently training instructors in the sport and currently setting up club days and training days for people to come and get involved. And maybe you also could come and on this side of the crash barrier fence and have a great fun touring with the Horseboarding UK team around some of the greatest states of this nation. Through the finish line with a time of 70.68 seconds.
But coming in now, we have Strike Oppose. The team that we saw has had two slow runs so far. We'll see if they're happy to push on a little bit now and give Strike Oppose a little bit more pace. They've done two collected runs. Now they're going to put down a run to fight for things.
Okay, so
little buck there from the pony, very excited. You can see giving a little bit, and the pony's gone, yeah, I'm ready, let's go. But actually, again, they're going to have to bring it down a little bit, make sure that
12 miles an hour. Yeah, so the times currently, they had an 80.08 and 89.08 as well. They're two times, and it looks as though they're still having to work on the excitement of the pony.
But the sat-nav's going right now, so that's a good plus.
Yeah, of course. And like I say, this horse doesn't need to work hard to go fast. It probably works a lot harder when it's taking its time.
In all honesty, so do the boards to some extent. When you're going to these slower speeds, you have to work the board so much harder because the horse isn't pulling you around the corner.
Yeah, exactly. It can really wear on your legs. Talk to me a bit about you being an ex-boarder yourself.
Ex-boarder, ex-national champion myself, team champion, yeah. We like going fast. These boards are set up for this sport, and when you go fast, you need the tight trucks. So as soon as you drop into these slower speeds, those tight trucks don't want to turn, so you have to work so much harder to get the board to turn underneath you.
Yeah, but none of the board riders really mind either, because it's wrong to think you've got a horse and horse rider towing a board rider around, and the board rider isn't associated or have anything to do with the horse. That's not the case. A round of applause for the team of Striker Pose.
With an improvement for that team of a time of 76.11. Actually, that's a massive improvement.
Smooth the run, strangely enough. 76.11 keeps them in 4th place, quite way behind the rest of the pack, but they've just not been able to explore the higher gears of that pony this so far today.
No, definitely not. We've seen a lot more from that pony.
So hold your horses. So Sendik's siblings currently in first, 3.37 seconds ahead of Hold Your Horses. Are they going to gamble on that 3.37 seconds? It looks like they are. So they're going to sit on their time that they've got and allow Hold Your Horses to challenge and save the runs, again, in this pony for the next heat.
We've got 3 more heats to go now. This is a 3-heat weekend, so we've got another race this afternoon and then 2 more tomorrow. So these smaller ponies, this is what you have with this sport. The smaller ponies are really good at these tight little courses, but they don't have the top speed, and sometimes they don't have as much energy by the end of the weekend. So you have to really manage the horse in your team. You see these massive rangy race horses, of course they can go continuously all weekend, all day. But these smaller ponies, you've got to be really tactical. You've got to know when to bring the horse down and not lose that.
And I think a lot of that comes in with the training, of course. Ex-race horses train from a very early age to run very long distances at speed, and ponies just aren't generally. No. You know, so you've got that base level of fitness in the ex-race horse that you don't necessarily get through the finish line with a time of 60.50 seconds. Now, of course, this is being an equestrian event. I'm sure many equestrians here will be thinking, well, why are you putting all the different... There's no category based on the horse. No, there is no category based on the horse. It's only based on how fast the horse goes around the various courses. Because the courses are sometimes a wet day will change it directly, massively. The size of the arena will change it massively. The horse will find its natural sort of category based on how fast it goes. So, but also we've seen off-breed ponies racing in the elite, like we see with Top and Tails, and we've also seen ex-race horses not care about it at all.
My old team would look really promising, and he just didn't want to run.
He just didn't like it.
Decided he didn't want to do it. But it's 3 parts, Dan. It's not just about the horse. You can have the fastest horse, and the rider isn't quite connected with that pony and can't get him in the right lines for the border, or you can have a border that's a bit more novice, can't take those higher speeds. So it's all 3 parts that make a difference. Exactly. Not just a fast horse.
And this is why the question's been raised here. So there's a rule called the 2-element rule, which means that 2 elements of a team must denote the category of it. So it means that you can swap the team around, substitute members.
Technically, this is an elite team.
Exactly. According to the 2-element rule, this would be classed as an elite team. However, the question would be over the horse who has been technically decategorized down because to run shorter runs. But it's certainly a
grey area.
And it certainly, I think, will be a bit of a discussion with the judges after this heat. And a reference to the rules, which are now...
But I've already heard they are talking about having a different border for the rest of the heat. And interesting, I've just heard Happy Lactans have retired from this heat, so they are done for this first heat.
Yep, and with a time of 61.8 seconds, Ice Baby stay in first place with their original run of 47.36. Only need for speed getting close to them with a 1.04 seconds deficit. Now, it is Hold Your Horses, currently sitting in second place, 3.37 seconds behind.
They are pushing off
Sendit siblings.
for a race.
The question is, did Sendit siblings make the right choice? 24
miles an hour. We saw from Sendit siblings on their just run of the speed trap.
There's a little bit of squirreling going on from the back truck of that board as she went around that corner.
The ground is so hard and sandy, so everything wants to slide underneath you. Tucking in hard, Ash working really hard. Can she put it back in? Whoa! Yes, she can. What a line. fine. Now she's got to hold it together. As soon as you go wrong in one place, the next two corners are the problem. Can she tuck it in here? Jumping around. Can she hold it? Yes, she can. The rider worked so well to hold on to Ash there, making sure she didn't put the pace on too soon. Can they push on for this top corner? That far corner is rutty. We know it's sliding.
Release!
Oh, no. Release that horse. Release the rope.
Release!
And that will be a card for a late release, without a doubt there. Yeah. Absolutely having no idea that she had lost Ash by the speed trap.
Yeah, so definitely a yellow card issued for a late release.
But it would have been a 49.01.
And that would have brought them in. Where's the music? That wouldn't have been enough, but it would have been very, very close. So the reason, ladies and gentlemen, that the team, obviously difficult to get a message to the horse rider when the wind is in your hair and you're galloping around. It's very difficult. Sometimes the horse rider aren't aware that they've lost the board rider. The difficulty is that in that event, probably the dangerous part of horseboarding is releasing the handle. And once you have a loose handle, if that catches on something as you're dragging it, it can flick and go into the horse. So we're very particular on releases and any sort of, we've had really good releases all day so far.
Listen to this pony go though, Dan. Striding across. 19 miles an hour from a team that's never raced with us before. This is amazing to see. But here we go, coming across for this 90 degree, working really well as a team. Tom lurking really nicely there, and 90 degree, 21 seconds on the split time from this team. This is really good. Tom working hard there, tucking on the inside of the horse, pushing round for the top end. And this pony's working so well, head forwards, ears forward, nothing wrong, not putting a foot wrong so far. Amazing to see from such an early team. The potential we can see from this team already is amazing, Dan. And as they go for this top end, pushing round, 48 seconds at the moment, this is so smooth. Pushing on, look at the stride of that pony. With a time of 52.38. Where does that put them, Dan?
52.38 seconds puts them in third place in their first ever competition. Sitting behind Need for Speed, not less than 4 seconds behind Need for Speed. Just 5 seconds. There's another team that's going to be going advanced relatively soon, I think.
15 seconds off their first run, Dan. What an improvement.
Yeah, of course. And you see the going into the catch zone there by the pits. Now we have a great run from
Pandemonium.
Now we have it is the team of Just Drag. They put a good run in their last run. They're staying ahead of section 89. They have a lead of 4.95 seconds.
They are away down there, pushing for second place for sure. Look at this.
Seconds behind.
30 miles an hour.
Oh my word, it's a new record for them, ladies and gentlemen. There's the 30 miles an hour boundary. The 30 mile an hour boundary is rarely beaten, and there's so much so there's a badge, it's a rank,
Can they bring it down here, Dan, after that speedy run though?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we've not seen that side of Rolo before.
One touch. Oh, Sean worked so hard, the rope nearly came out of his fingers.
Squiggle there as he came out of the board, nearly did well to keep that
really well.
Him.
That was tips of the fingers. You could see the rope was just at the end of his grasp and somehow managed to pull it back.
And what you have to remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you've ever led your horses to the field in the muddy winter, these will pull your arm off. And not even think about it.
But 41 on the split time, that is good on the split. They are with the rest of the pack now. They brought that time up from that starting loop. Can they keep the pace on here and keep Sean with them? Look at the contrails from the board.
Now making the way to the speed trap once again. 13 miles an hour. Looks quicker than that to me. I think the angle might not be picking up the speed quite well going across the diagonal, but for the finish line, that's a good work. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. Just Drag earning themselves a 30 mile an hour badge
with
in their process.
With a 72.23 with one touch to add.
72. They stay in third place, but they are now 4.43 seconds behind Top and Tails. And section 89 standing, languishing in the back of the pack now, 7.13 seconds behind the rest of the pack. 13 seconds from first. We'll have to see what Section 89 brings to the table, but they've got one more chance to gamble.
One more chance. But coming in now, we have Core Intent, a team that's just been building throughout this heat, and you can see pushing on now a little bit more every time we see them coming out. At 17 miles an hour into that top corner.
Yeah, and this pony relaxed, nonchalantly taking the stride. No real urgency or work in the pony, but that's fine.
The course is falling down around us, Dan, but coming into the split time at 22 on the split, that is a massive improvement from their last run. Horse nearly standing on a ball there. Actually, Sue Scott did incredibly well to notice that and pull the horse around it. They've not had good luck with the course falling down around them. It happened on their last run.
Nice little turn of pace coming through Redback. Then just saw Sue just allow the horse to stretch out that bit more for the diagonal, working into this corner a little bit at 13 miles an hour. And making their way towards the JCB corner. 50 seconds on the clock. Ladies and gentlemen, call them home for the finish line with a time of
54.95, and I believe a clear round.
And with that, they go into 4th place. So massive round of applause for them, as they are now 2.57 seconds behind 3rd place, which is Pandemonium. So good build there. And again, you can see all these teams.
Well, but coming in now, we have TNT. They saw the run from Just Wing It. They're going to have to fight here now. Pushing down. Look at those legs go. Here, Amy screaming across the start.
They need 1.7 seconds.
25 miles an hour into that top corner. We know this pony has a constant pace. They can hold the speed the whole way through the course. Look at Josh flying around that top end.
You can see. You can see that this pony
got to keep the pace up here, Dan. That was possibly the quickest we've seen today. They kept the pace going. This is where they've lost pace before and lost time, so pushing on now.
Yeah, you can see this horse hits top speed very quickly. It doesn't have the same top end as the X-Race horses, but it stays at that top speed.
38 on the split.
It is able to maintain that top speed. They are matching the split now.
They are up on the split. They are a second up on the split, Dan.
A second up on the split on a clean run. This 14-2X showing pony is going against these X-Race horses and showing them how it's done. Ladies and gentlemen, they're coming up tip and tails for the speed trap. Then 17, massive touch, destroyed that cone. 1 second to add. Ladies and gentlemen, call them home. This is for first place. 63 on the clock. Through the finish line at 66.40. Top and tails with 2 touches makes it 61 touch. Okay.
60. So it'll be a 67.40.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for Top and Tails, who stay in second place. But with a valiant effort, they are in second place by 0.3 of a second.
Wow.
The difference between first and second, 0.3 of a second. We said it was going to get tight.
That's nothing. You can't even say it that quick.
So here we go. Now we've got the last attempt for Section 89. They've had a marred season, but they have all of... They
are pushing. You can see they want to play with these big boys at the top, pushing on. You can see, look at the stretch on that pony. 23, it looks faster than that to me.
Seems sure like it feels faster on the board as well.
Tucking in. Look at the forward bouncing around on that tough stuff at the top.
Yeah, so through Redback boots now, gentle deceleration as they turn up the centre line and trying to approach this weave.
1, 2, 3,
clear.
Through clear, worked really well. You can see Oren got a bit of a tug, but was ready for it on that backhand.
Yeah, and he stayed well away from the horse, gave the horse all the room in the world to do the manoeuvring that it needed to do. So great bit of work from there. And now for the split time.
42 on the split. They are matching what we saw from Just Drag. So they are in a fight with Just Drag at the moment. Oren taking an interesting line, cutting really wide. You can see the speed coming up on the chicane, the middle of the chicane. The acceleration came on early, and now they're pushing for this diagonal. You can see George just giving a little bit of rein there, letting the horse open out more.
Okay, 14 miles an hour, ladies and gentlemen. It's the final race. It's time to really exercise those voices and call this team home. 69 on the clock so far through the finish line with 72.44. Means that section 89 go into third place ahead of Just Drag with a 0.79 second run, and they did that with a 23 mile an hour average over the 30 mile an hour going into turn 1.
I've said this for a long time. Top speed is not what matters. If you hold that average speed around the course and don't have to keep braking that horse to slow it down for the corners, you will get better speed.
Okay, so we have in 5th place in the intermediate, we have Comb But Not Forgotten. In 4th place, Core Intent. In 3rd place, Pandemonium. In 2nd place, Need for Speed. In 1st place, Ice Ice Baby. Then we go into the advanced category. We have 4th place, Strike a Pose. 3rd place, Happy Little Accident. 2nd place, Hold Your Horses. 1st place, Send Its Siblings. Very good fight in that category. We have Just Drag in 1st, section 18, in 4th, section 89 in 3rd, Top and Tails in 2nd, and Just Wing It in 1st. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause for all the teams of Horseboarding UK.
Really, really fun. Like, especially, you know, this is our 2nd Living Heritage event. It's a little bit more into the season now. Being at Burley is just incredible. And I love, like, the span they've got for all things that are game and country. So, you know, they've got the shooting, the fishing, the dogs. My own dog's breeder is here. I'm doing the field and trial as well. They've got the horses, they've got really, really something for everyone, and I think it's amazing. Like, it's a huge show with all these different sections. Food's great as well. That's always a nice bonus as well. And then just the main arena events are really fun and exciting, and they get everyone involved as well. Just like an amazing show where there is something for everyone. You know, there's extreme sports, there's stuff you can cheer on, there's something for you to bring in the kids, the dogs, you know, there's something, literally everything at the show for someone to try, and it can be inspiring, it can be emotive, it can just be adrenaline packed and amazing, and yeah, it's just brilliant.
Lots of amazing food.
Lots of amazing food.